to everybody. When I was the president of Shanti Padanama some years ago, the patron of Shanti Padanama, Venerable Kottappala Amarakitte, gave me a book. And he said, please read this book. Not only read it, if you can, translate it. And he said, this is a wonderful book. I read the book and I was really fascinated with what I read. The name of the book was Spiral Traverse. It was written by a professor, a Russian professor, a scientist, and he writes about things that were very close to my heart. As a Sri Lankan, as a Buddhist, as an Asian, we are born and bred into a society where we take for granted things like chanting, Pirit, the effect of Pirit chanting on water, on tying Pirit nool, the energy or the power associated with sacred places, aura of the Buddha or aura that we see in the pictures of the Christ. These are things that we are used to. But now, for the first time, I'm reading a book written by a Russian scientist, a scientist of the highest order, and he writes about these things. And he does not just write about it, he uses equipment, scientific equipment, does research, and says things that really fascinated me. I wrote to him a letter saying that I would like to translate this book, and I asked for permission, and he not only gave me permission, he became a friend of mine. Very recently he wrote to me saying that he's coming to Sri Lanka on a personal visit. Then I said, okay, if you're coming to Sri Lanka, Professor Korotkov, why don't you make yourself available, your expertise and your knowledge and your wisdom available to our people of our country? And he readily agreed to it. So today we have with us in the studios Professor Konstantin Korotkov. Professor Korotkov, you are welcome to this discussion. Okay, I would like to start this discussion asking you now, okay, you have not, although I mentioned the word aura, you do not mention the word aura. I said it because it's close to me, because I'm used to calling it that. You call it the energy field. Now, what is this energy field? Is it true that the Buddha or the Christ or any other sage or saint could have had something like that, something like an aura, which we can't see, but we are used to accepting it? Do people have things like that? And you have said that not only people, even inanimate things, even trees have that. This is something close to what we see from the Kirlian camera. But you say in this book, you say it's not the Kirlian camera. It's a modern version of it, a far advanced version of it. Can you please explain to us what you say about this energy field?
Yes, you're absolutely right. For millenniums, people knew that there are some outstanding people who have some light coming from their body. And we have this in all religions, we have this about all saints, about all holy people. But we don't see it. Why? Because this is really light, and from physical point of view, those are photons coming from the body. But those photons, for ordinary people, they are very weak, very tiny photons. That's why ordinary people, they have very slight glow. But outstanding people, they have this much, much stronger. And even in our society, in our world, we have people who have much stronger aura, energy field, compared with just conventional people. So, we was interested in this topic for many years, and we were able to develop instruments based on Kirlian effect that allows us to study these photons, these energy fields. I don't like the word aura because it has some metaphysical meaning, and we are following a scientific approach. We are following Western science, and at the same time we're trying to make a bridge between Western science and Oriental wisdom, between Occidental approach to everything and Oriental deep knowledge. So, what does it mean, energy field? Those are quantum level of our existence. We are mostly based in our science on molecular level. And this is the basis of genetics, this is the basis of molecular medicine. But beyond this, under this level, we have quantum level, because all existence of our molecules, they are based on exchange of electrons and photons. And it was in mid-30s of last century. We had Professor Alexander Gurevich, who had proven that biological subjects exchange photons. And he had proven this, but it wasn't confirmed by American scientists, and it was just a very unclear situation. And only by mid-60s it was again confirmed by using very sensitive photocounters. So it was found that any subject, would it be ourselves, would it be plant, would it be animal, emit photons. And this is not just random emanation, it is the way of interconnection between cells. So all cells, they interconnect by exchanging photons. We have developed an approach based on studying stimulated photons. So we apply very short electrical impulse and we stimulate this photon emission from the body. And after many years of research, it was found that this photon emission gives us a lot of information. So first of all, information about our well-being, about our health, because all organs, all systems, they exchange energy. We know the notion of meridians, we know the notion of acupuncture points, we know the notion of chakras, and this all description of how organs and systems exchange energy. Now we are coming to this notion from Western point of view as well. And now we can find description in our papers, in papers of other scientists, how we can explain this from scientific point of view. But what's important? You know that we all have a feeling when someone looks to you from the back. We feel it. How it's possible? From scientific point of view, modern scientific point of view, it's impossible. From the point of view of energy field, it is logical.
Okay.
Because our energy fields, they are far beyond of our body.
Right.
It's not just little covering around our body, but as it is quantum, it means that it operates all over the space. That's why energy field is the way how we interconnect with each other, how we interconnect with the environment, how we interconnect with humankind. So it is very important notion to understand that we are all, as humanity, we are interconnected with each other. And with our intentions, with our emotions, with our feelings, we influence each other. So with our instrument, first of all, we applied for express diagnostics. So we can study human health. And we can see what's going on physical level. We can see what's going on emotional and psycho-emotional level. And we can even predict some upcoming situations before their physical appearance.
All right. Now, Professor Korotkov, there are several questions come to my mind when you speak. Firstly, you say we, a group of scientists. You mean you are a professor of biophysics at St. Petersburg Federal University, and as well as the deputy director of the highly acclaimed Federal Research Institute of St. Petersburg. You are a group of quantum physicists that are working on this, am I right? And is it only in Russia or is it worldwide?
It is worldwide.
It's worldwide.
You are right that we have big group of scientists. We work together. So now we have big group, of course, in our Russia, in St. Petersburg, in Moscow, in Novosibirsk, other cities. and we interconnect with each other. We correlate our research plans and exchange our results. Of course, we have a big group in our laboratory, in my laboratory as well. At the same time, we have scientists worldwide. I have many colleagues, friends in the United States. And for example, we are developing ideas of quantum physics with one of my colleagues in Washington University. Then we have research lines in different universities of United States. We have research lines in Germany, a lot of research lines. We have research lines in England. So we have centers and colleagues in 65 countries.
Okay.
So it is a real international movement.
Okay.
And of course, we use our instruments. Not only our instruments, we have a lot of other research instruments. So, as you know from movies, in any laboratory, we have many different instrumentations, and we use them in parallel.
Professor Korotkov, now you said that the equipment that you are using is far advancing than the original Kirlian camera. What really do you do, and can you show us a sample of the instrument that you are using and just tell us how you do it? I know that you will not be able to analyze and tell us, but if you can just show our viewers what type of thing is being used. I mean, is it something huge which you have to, or is it something a small equipment that, because I have seen you have shown it to me, so I would like you to show it to the viewers as well.
Okay, so first of all, the difference between our equipment, our electrophotonic and GDV equipment, and Kirlian photography is the same as difference between bicycle and Mercedes.
Okay.
So they are both vehicles, but a little bit different. And one of our cameras looks like this.
Okay.
So this is our not latest camera, but one of they do exist in thousands in the world, because it's very convenient for travel, for experiments, and it's very simple in use, absolutely non-invasive. It is very easy to understand how it works, and it operates on any computer. So it's really very good.
Now, in the book, you say that you just have to give get the impression of the thumb. Is it? Or you take a picture of the. Now, see, my question is this: as a layman, I can't say this. I can't see the energy field of anyone, but you can. Using your equipment, you can. How do you do it? What does the equipment capture?
So we are measuring photons coming from fingers, from toes, from any part of the body, when they are stimulated by electromagnetic field.
Right.
So, as I've told, it is possible to detect those photons just by very sensitive superconductors. But then you should keep subject, would it be human being or some biological subject, in total darkness for half an hour. And you understand it's very unpractical. In the equipment, you don't need to use any special conditions. You can use it in any environment, in any conditions. So we take measurements mostly from fingers. Why? Because our fingers are interconnected by meridians with all systems and organs of our body. So when we take information from fingers, we get readings of functional state of all systems and organs. We don't see their construction as in X-ray or tomography, but we see functioning. What does it mean? For example, you may have good liver. From construction it may be quite good, but functioning very slow. Or spleen, very often, very typical. Or stomach. So when you make X-ray, it looks very nice. No ulcer, no strong defects, but from functional point of view, it may be very weak, and it's very typical. That's why for conventional medicine, sometimes it's very difficult to understand the reason of some problems. Plus, one more topic. You know that one of the biggest danger of our modern world, those are cancer, stroke, infarctus, and this really